Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. What a day of cricket we had today. We have to start off with the World Cup qualifiers, Netherlands versus the West Indies. We saw a super over the whole IPL. I was waiting for a super over, didn't see anything. But this time round, an incredible match, high scoring game, 374. West Indies made, Netherlands matched that. It was a close finish, and then the game went to the super over and everything changed. Logan Van Beek, what a performance, man. 30 runs of 6 balls. He absolutely pummeled Jason Holder all over the ground, predominantly on the leg side. That's where he was hiking over either long on or mid wicket cow corner. But it was just sensational hitting, and he made sure that Netherlands had enough runs to defend. Then he came in to bowl and picked up a couple of wickets too in that super over. That was probably the best super over performance you'll ever see in your life from Logan Van Beek. Zabardast performance. What a what a show, man. It was just too good to watch. West Indies, a lot of answers, a lot of questions to be answered. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to go to the World Cup. That's going to be a huge loss for them and for us. Also, we're not used to West Indies not being in the World Cup. We always see them there in and around. Even if they don't compete or do well, they're still there in the World Cup. This time around, it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. And first it was the loss to Zimbabwe, and then now against the Netherlands. And West Indies should have won this. They batted really well. Nicholas Pooran, a sensational 100 of 65 balls. He got support from Kimo Paul, Brandon King also, and along with Justin Charles as well. A lot of people contributing for the West Indies, taking them to a mammoth score of 374. Phir magar bowling, even in the bowling wise, if you see, West Indies did a decent job. Netherlands needed a good 100 runs like in the last 10 overs, I think, but poor death bowling again from the West Indies, whether it's the super over or the last few overs there. They just couldn't find the block hole properly, and yeah, couldn't keep the Netherlands batsmen quiet. It was very poor from them. They'll be very disappointed. But from Netherlands, you have to give it to Teja Nidamanoru and Scott Edwards, man. Incredible batting from them. Teja scoring a sensational 111 of 76 balls. Fantastic shots. He hit 3 6s, 11 fours as well. Really healthy strike rate. बहुत अच्छी बैटिंग किया उसने and was supported well by Scott Edwards as well. That's where the game turned for the Netherlands and allowed them to get close to the score. Still, I felt the score was a bit far, but poor bowling from the West Indies and some really good batting made sure that it was a super over. And joining me is my co-host. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good, doing good. Lot of shocking things happening in this World Cup qualifiers, man. Zimbabwe has on a 4 game streak, and Netherlands pulling out a rabbit win. Able like Godzilla out of a hat, man. Insane, Van Beek, man. Insane innings.
What I wanted to say was हम लोग पूरा आईपीएल तड़प जा रहे थे मैं तड़प जा रहा था सुपर ओवर के
Super
लिए
over.
और अब मिला सुपर ओवर and this is probably the best super over performance by an individual that you'll ever see 30 of 6 balls and then 2 wickets bro उन्हें आके bowling भी करके विकेट भी लिया उसके बाद अब बोलो
Yeah. उससे पहले भी उन्हें 28 कुछ मारा just like 14 and he looked
14
like in good
क्लोज
space.
लेके गया
But
उन्हें या
Jason Holder second time I think this year he got smashed like that. I think IPL में एक बार उसको राजस्थान में जब था उसको मारे थे and अब second time and he was very poor. पूरे short pitch deliveries हैबत में आ गया था उन्हें after the first 2 balls 10 runs and yeah I think he was ready for it Van Beek and insane like yeah you will ideally now you'll probably see this guy in the IPL next year.
yeah, it was absolute rubbish bowling from Holder to be honest man. He's the
Yeah.
experienced player उसको मालूम होना चाहिए उन्हें एक ही आप देखो लेग साइड ही मार रहा था उन्हें वैन पिक इधर लॉन्ग
Hmm.
ऑन के ऊपर या काउ कॉर्नर पे और वहीं डालते जा रहे kept feeding him. Where was the Yorker wide outside off stump? Where was the slower ball? Where was the different variations? Where was the normal Yorker? Just kept bowling around the wicket udri. He should have just come over the wicket, bowled outside that off stump and allowed him to hit through the offside. It just makes sense, like especially after the first 3 deliveries he should have changed his game plan and been a bit more wide of that off stump because आप देखो उन्हें एक ही जगह ही मार रहा था तो थोड़ा सा
Hmm.
दिमाग लगाओ. He's such an experienced player. He's bowled in this situation so many times. And
Yeah.
to bowl like that, man, West Indies in the death were poor today. The last 10 overs
I think
of the
see
50 overs and then the super over.
374. Yeah, 374 itself is such an amazing score to have, and then you have Alzari Joseph, you got Rosted Chase, you've got good decent bowler Akil Hussain, also these are all
Very good bowlers, yeah.
internationally exposed bowlers, and they're going at 7 or 8 economy. That's not that itself shows that their bowling was very poor to start off with. Nicholas Puran again 104 of 65, brilliant innings. उन्हें मौत डाला, उन्हें हर जगह मारा. He did his job. After 374, I don't think anyone would have expected Netherlands to do what they did, and it was just probably something that was written. And yeah, then it was a combined effort, like Teja Nidamanaru and so many people in the end. Scott Edwards as well, the captain. पूरे मिलके contribute करे कैसा भी 375 but the super over man, incredible super over था वो. 30 runs मार के उसला सुकून में आ गया. 30 runs मारे बाद you have majority of this say.
Yeah, him and Scott Edwards' partnership was the crucial one. It took them
Yeah.
to a situation where they could go win the game. And then again, Van Beek, like you said, he also hit 24 of 28 of 14 and took it even closer. But that partnership was incredible. And Teja, and really good 100 from him.
Mm.
Some really good shots. Yeah, the ground was small and everything like that. But against that West Indies attack, especially when Netherlands weren't in a good position while batting. If you see like the first
Mm.
25-30 overs, they weren't really in a good position. But to change things around under pressure and take that game that close, you have to. It's hats off, man. It was an incredible 100. Nitish Bhai is asking our associate nations targeting West Indies to make a point. Every team is bringing best against them, or maybe West Indies has given up the ODI format. I think it's more to do with the West Indies bowling, especially the death bowling and batting as well. I think it's their performances they have to look at. They're making individual errors because overall they should have won the last two games. They should have beaten Zimbabwe. They should have chased that score and they should have won this game. They should have defended this score. तो अगर आपको देखना है लास्ट टाइम आपकी बैटिंग हाथ दे दी अभी bowling हाथ दे दी स्पेशली क्रूशल सिचुएशंस में जब गेम क्लोज है they're just not being able to cross the line and they're giving up. It's more to do with that because if you see Sri Lanka should be targeted also मगर श्रीलंका किसी को हाथ डालने नहीं दे रहे right साफ
Yeah.
साफ सुक्का मार रहे सबको तो मेरे हिसाब से it's a lot to do with the West Indies especially in pressure situations. Yes, I know they have a lot of politics, team selection, this and that, but even with this team, you expect them to
I
make the
mean, the
World
same
Cup.
thing you could say if Sri Lanka to chalo a little bit step ahead. I would still say Scotland. Look at the way they're playing, right? They're also 3-3 right now, and they've been performing fantastic. McCullen and the other folks that are there in the middle order, particularly, now both unified खेल रहे हैं और यहाँ पे देखो आप एक आध and then West Indies today 374 is not something that up in any condition you would say कि हाँ भाई 374 is a very massive score. And look at the way Zimbabwe has come, after a long
Yeah.
time. Look at them, look at their run on a 4-4 hai abhi, or Sikandar Azad, Sean Williams, they've taken responsibility. Here, the problem with West Indies is what I feel is no one is ready to take responsibility. Jason Holder, he's there, but he's old as well, like he's 36 or something right now. And I think Jason Holder should like ho gaya uska time. They're probably now you should probably invest in Nicholas Puran and these guys who are coming in. I don't know what it is. Like there's no one who you can see they're प्लेइंग फॉर द बैच और प्लेइंग फॉर द कंट्री. वो इंटेंसिटी नहीं है क्रिकेट में जो वेस्ट इंडीज की एक टाइम पे रहती थी. हार्ट एंड सोल ऑफ क्रिकेट दैट क्रिस गेल, ब्रायन लारा, जिमी एडम्स जैसे लोग जब खेलते थे यूज्ड टू फील कि हाँ भाई they're threatening, but now it just looks like West Indies is a beat down team. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी देख लो when they play test matches, Labuschagne completely manhandled them alone. And after that, West Indies has just been poor everywhere. Alzari Joseph is a very good bowler. We all know what he's capable of doing. He was brilliant even for whatever spells he had in Gujarat. So these guys are reputed players. It's just they're not coming together is what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, Puran bhi zabardast century mara aaj. And Kimo Paul also came, finished it really well. So they
Yeah.
have a lot of options. And if you see every game they're playing, they're actually performing.
Yeah.
But in the crunch situation, they're not being able to cross the line and they're allowing teams to get into the game. दोनों बार उन लोग upper hand थे दोनों matches में, and they're letting the teams come into the game. That's also to do with like consistency, pressure situation. They're more experienced than these associate teams, but they're just letting it go. It's inexplicable, like what
Yeah.
Nitish was saying, for a test nation to concede that many runs against an associate team, and वो भी आप like अच्छे situation में रह के आप give up कर रहे हैं. It's not called for, man. Like it's very hard to put a finger on something. Because if you see, they do have performances like Puran smashed it. Their batters did really
Yeah.
well today.
Yeah.
The bowlers did well to a certain point, then they got smashed. Last game, their bowlers did a really good job. Again, death overs में आप देख लो, सिकंदर रजा उन लोग भाई 30 रन तो 11th पार्टनरशिप था, 11 नंबर 11 और 10 मारे थे जिम्बाब्वे के अगेंस्ट. कौन है वो मुसरबानी एंड अंगावारा, उन लोग मारे. That they should have got Zimbabwe all out for 230. So if you see both games, in the last 5-10 overs, they're collapsing. What is the reason for that? I don't know. But there's the last 10 overs in each game which is screwing them. And because, like you're saying, they still have really good players, and that's why they're dominating games. They have good performances.
Yeah.
People are scoring hundreds. They're taking wickets. Lekin, अगर आप you're not holding on to your catches, that's one thing. Alzari Joseph के कितने catch छोड़े भाई, especially against Zimbabwe. फिर death overs में you're spraying it around, you're not being able to hit the block hole consistently. When a player is hitting in a consistent direction, you're not changing it up, you're feeding him in the same place so he can hit it in that direction again. So it's these little things which are costing them games.
Yeah,
And
it's about closing the game, like you said,
yeah,
right?
they're
Like
not closing
dropping
it.
catch. Yeah, you have to close the game. You have to not come to a fit that 374 है अरे कहाँ मारते हैं ना बोल के वो अगर आप दिमाग में बिठा रहे, that's something maybe that's going against you. And again, you have to keep it tight till the end, close it out, see it out. And they've got good enough, like Jason Holder, Nicholas Puran. These guys are experienced. Even Chase, and all of these guys have pretty much been in the game for some time now, at least. I mean, Holder तो कब से ही खेल रहा. So I think they should be the ones who need to take it. Or Romario, Shepard, all of these guys together. I mean, yeah, some of them are very young. You can probably let things go, but overall, like these things can't. Like 374 mare baad, you can't lose the game. I think for me that's just too much.
Yeah, it is 100%. And the other end, Zimbabwe, though, they're on a run. It looks like they're
Four
going to the
game,
World
bro.
Cup, man.
4 game streak. Sikandar Raza has probably wants the Ballon d'Or for cricket this year, man. He's just going one on a streak, man. 48 runs, and then I think he got a couple of wickets as well today. Yeah, 2 for 15 or something is what he got, and yeah, Sean Williams 174.
That was an
Yeah,
incredible innings,
but
man.
from the start, you look at the way Zimbabwe's thought process is. They want to win, they want to qualify, they know what they have to do. They're very clear in their responsibilities and roles. The top order smashed it as well today, but everybody knows that it's a collective effort. It's not going to be, and this belief you see instilled Kara Khan se T20 World Cup. So when they beat Pakistan, that blew a lot of belief in their whole system. They tried to get over the line, but unfortunately weren't able to qualify for the next round of the T20. But they didn't stop. They kept doing something, innovating. And Garawa, these guys, like bowling has been decent. So I think Zimbabwe as a team is like really one to look out for. I know they're playing the likes of like West Indies, America, and like Netherlands, but still a win is a win. A 4 game streak is good in anything, and yeah,
I mean, beating West Indies is no joke. Like, it's still a
yeah,
very good feat for them. And like you mentioned, I think they're all contributing. आप देखो सिकंदर रजा इसको भी ले लो रायन पर्ल बैट और बॉल
one,
के साथ दोनों
yeah,
कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं
yeah,
राइट लाइक सो यू गॉट यूटिलिटी प्लेयर्स एंड देन कोई ना कोई आके मार देता लाइक शॉन विलियम्स द कैप्टन ही इज बीन इनक्रेडिबल in the last year he's
yeah.
been one of the best batters him but then you had like Gumby today you had Ryan Pearl who batted also
Hmm.
फिर आके उन्हें मरुमानी भी आके मार दिया एंड में तो like
Yeah,
they have everyone is contributing. It's more of a team effort. They have really good bowlers as well, like you mentioned. Angarava and
yeah,
Musrapani are really
yeah,
good, both with the new ball and in the death as
yeah,
well. They know how to change games in the middle overs. They've got Sikandar Raza who can bowl spin and pick up wickets too. So, like overall, the team achieve battery. They're playing at home, bro. This is one of the best crowds I've seen. Like the way the Zimbabwean crowds are coming and backing their team. They're like singing the whole time. It's like a party atmosphere.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
backing their team. It's incredible to see, and the team is performing to that beat
Hmm.
as well, right? So like मजा आ रहा देख के.
Yeah, and look at the totals that they're grasping, man. Like 400
Yeah,
today. And I mean, you never seen Zimbabwe probably cross that line. And they're going over. I mean, yes, home conditions है उन लोगों का home advantage है वो, but like again, Zimbabwe, the nation that we know as a cricketing nation, उतनी खास नहीं रही over the past at least few years. And like now you see this belief that Sikandar Raza, I would call him like one of the main crucial guys. Like India जब आके खेली थी, you remember how he was
yeah,
against India. He I think he said कि भाई we're not, and his belief is that it's like even in the interviews that you see of him, he always says we're almost just one step behind the biggest nations of cricket. We're one step. So he genuinely believes that bhai, Zimbabwe as a whole has potential to reach the like of an India, Pakistan. It's just like yeah, probably board में उतना पैसा नहीं, but अगर आप believe करे, work करे, collective effort डाले तो आप पहुंच सकते हैं. आप देख लो 4 game streak कहीं भी cricket में anywhere like somewhere the biggest of biggest teams like somewhere they fail. And like I think Zimbabwe is proving a point, and yeah, if they keep the spirit up, maybe even when they come to India, if they reach the World Cup qualified, which looks likely, they'll be one of the ones to watch out for because if they're on a hot form streak, you're obviously going to be worried about these kind of things, right?
yeah. And we always think when we look at the schedule, bhai, West Indies, Sri Lanka, it'll be much tougher than like maybe Zimbabwe. But now, if I look at it,
Yeah, Zimbabwe.
we've been watching Zimbabwe for, I mean, a long time. But like, if we see them in the last year, me and you both noticed
Yeah.
that they're on the up, right? एक साल से तो
This is
since last
basically
summer.
after that Alistair Campbell Heat Street kind of an era. I think
Yeah.
this is the era that you're seeing on the rise.
Yeah. And like I think last year we noticed them India जब गए थे जब से
Yeah.
हम लोग notice कर रहे हैं कि they've improved as a team, right? Yes, they've beaten Ireland, these guys, but then when you play like that against India, Pakistan, then catches people's eyes. So I think they'll actually give a tougher fight than West Indies. So like, if they're in Pakistan, when they play against Pakistan, India, and stuff, you have to be wary against.
Yeah.
Even they can cause problems to Afghanistan. They can cause problems to Bangladesh also, right? Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
they are. So yeah, Charenga, if they do qualify, it'll be really good for them, and they deserve it. It's not like one fluke. अच्छा घर पे खेल रहे तो जीत रहे, ऐसा नहीं है. उन लोग
Hmm.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी परफॉर्मेंस दिए और जहाँ पे भी खेल रहे हो अच्छा परफॉर्मेंसेस दे रहे. Also, first we had the women's ashes.
Hmm.
Today was a deciding day. Australia, man, again too good. You've been watching women's cricket for now almost a
Yeah.
year. It's been like 8 months.
Yeah.
But this Australia team is like it's like taking you back 20 years ago when Ricky Ponting was leading. There was
Yeah.
no Meg Lanning this time round, but Alisa Healy doing the job as captain, and Ash Gardner, man, we've been talking about her this whole year.
12 wickets, man. 12
What a
wickets.
performance!
Incredible performance. And I think it called. I mean, from the start of it, it looked like a 1.5 days batting. Chalo, theek hai, it's a slow approach and stuff. And 10 runs short England. I mean, very amazing innings from first Annabelle Sutherland, who 178 mari for Tammy Beaumont, man. Double hundred in an
Yeah.
Ashes, in any format, in any kind of a thing. It's a brilliant amount of patience, concentration. But Eccleston. There were a lot of individual performances. You see, Eccleston got two fivers in this match, and then 12 wicket from Ashley Gardner. But yeah, again, Australia commendable effort. I think England as well, for that matter. They performed very well, but getting England all out and then managing to do it very in quick successions, बोल सकते हैं, whatever it is. I think I was a good effort, and 89 is a big margin to beat.
They're
But
probably the top two teams in the world, but Australia is just ahead, right? They're
yeah,
always ahead. They're going to be ahead in every format.
yep,
Again, they showed why this time round. After like the way Bowman batted, I felt draw ho sakta, but the
yeah,
pace with both teams were playing at, the result was possible. Yesterday, I felt that England, they got off to a flyer, man. They were like 50-60 for zero, and I thought the chase is on. मगर फिर
mm.
एकदम से वो 5 विकेट जो गिरे, जो एशली गार्डनर का जो
Ashley
स्पेल था
Gardner spell tha, yeah,
कल शाम में, that was the game changing thing. And then they had 5 wickets to pick today, and they did it. But it was that tea session, a post tea session yesterday, where despite England getting off to a good start, Australia coming back, and we've seen it against India in the T20 World Cup, in the Commonwealth. Australia, even if they're in a losing position or in a position where they have to defend a bit, they'll do that. They'll come and win the game. Just know how to win matches.
yeah,
Elisa Perry with the bat was absolutely incredible.
yeah.
Sutherland, man, coming at numbers what, 8, 9,
8,
and
yeah.
scoring a century. That is really good stuff, and it just shows the fighting spirit. It does remind me of the Ricky Ponting team, where they were invincibles, and this Australian women's team will go down as one of the best cricket teams we'll ever see.
It all comes back to mentality, bro. Like it's all about mentality. आप देख लो, रिकी पॉन्टिंग एरा से जो अपन देख रहे, दे ऑलवेज हैव दिस बिलीव कि हम ना जीतने वाले, कुछ भी कर लो, कहीं भी मार दो, हम लोग को वर्ल्ड कप तो हमारा है. लाइक वो जो never say never attitude, never die attitude है इन लोगों का. And the same thing with McLanning and her captaincy. You see, they won 5 back to back, man. Like that's incredible. That's something I've never seen in my life in any tournament, in any sport. You've never seen people like, yeah, maybe Real Madrid is the only team, but like again, having the same team overall in cricket, it's more the same team every year rather than a big change like you see like a Ronaldo coming in or something, right? Like
Yeah.
वो हिसाब से अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ, it's just an incredible in instinct in like mentality to gauge. Like it's just hard to believe that you're going to win always. And yeah, England condition, swinging condition, Duke's ball, everything the same. Man, Sutherland was bowling 121. I was well, it's not sorry, Darcy Brown. Darcy
That's
Brown was
right.
bowling
Yeah.
121, and which is very fast for like I don't think we can bowl 121. So
We
it's like
can't.
commendable. Tammy Beaumont again, double hundred, special innings from her. Unfortunate, but Gardner, man, like she just knows the right areas where to pitch the ball. We've seen her even in the women's IPL. She was like not that great, but whatever she has a lot of experience. Yeah, overall, it's a fantastic performance from
Yeah.
the women's Australia, and it's all a good build up. I mean, I know lots of people नहीं देखे होंगे ये match को, or maybe they might have, maybe I'm wrong. Times are changing, but it's a good build up to Lords, man. It's a very good build
Yeah.
up to Lords, and Mitchell Stark, yeah, Scott Boland. Who do you guys have? मेरे को तो मिचेल स्टार्क देखने को बहुत दिल बोल रहा है. I want to see a left armer in that Australian lineup.
Yeah, कुर्बानी के बाद toss. It's on either
Yeah,
Lords का जो
yeah,
test match है
yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah,
It's going to be really good. It's building up to that now. I think I saw Mitchell Stark's press conference. I saw Ollie Pope's as well. They're talking. Ollie Pope was mentioning about Moeen Ali. Mitchell Stark was talking about how it's a
how,
5 test match series and a
mm,
short time, so we have to rotate and everything like that.
yeah.
And yeah, I think. Uh, Maybe Moeen Ali will play. We don't know. Ryan Ahmed is also. Pope did mention him as well. Ryan Ahmed. has been bowling in the nets and everything is confident. तो देखेंगे कल I think फिर press conferences रहेंगे, बड़े खिलाड़ी आएंगे शायद. We'll probably see Ben Stokes in the press conference maybe. Lords का match है तो it might be him, but in general bro, Australia have a very good record at Lords. England is actually Edgbaston, that's the fortress, Edgbaston Headingley, but they have to now come at Lords and play the baseball, but they'll have to try to again look to dominate Australia and this time win the game. If
Yeah.
England do win, of course, it makes it a next level series. If Australia win, then England are on the brink, man. It's not like they can't come back from 2-0, but बहुत बहुत मुश्किल होने वाला है.
मुश्किल तो होने वाला है, बट दैट्स इंग्लैंड. जो जिस तरीके की टीम है और जिस तरीके की मेंटालिटी है, वो ड्रेसिंग रूम में आप देख लो कि दे डोंट केयर, राइट? लाइक दे नॉट गोना वरी. लॉट्स ऑफ लेजेंड्स आर कमिंग आउट. जेफरी बॉयकॉट वाज रियली पिस्ड कि भाई, यू नो, दे मोर अबाउट fashioning or entertaining rather than winning now, England, and that's what's
Ah,
really, you know, for people who are like result oriented, they really worry about those things. And I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of pressure on Ben Stokes if they lose this. So I know even Ben Stokes, as much as he wants to entertain people, he'll have to be a little bit more careful. uh, but when you ask him the question, would you have declared in the first innings the same way that you did in Edgbaston, he'll go like, yeah, 100% मैं वही करने वाला हूँ जो मैं last time करा. मैं declare करा, अगर 398 है मेरा declare है. He doesn't. He wants 20 minimum 20 balls also to go. I don't care. I'll have ball in the first
उन्हें
first
वैसा
7.
करेंगे. अब देखो ऑल्सो ये भी बात है रेड फैस, अगर आप ऐसा खेलते जाएंगे एंड आप प्रेशर डाल रहे हो ऑस्ट्रेलिया पे. ऑस्ट्रेलिया पे दबाव था टेस्ट मैच में, ऐसा नहीं
Yeah.
था कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया क्रूजिंग इन एनी सिचुएशन, राइट? तो अगर आप ऐसा प्रेशर डालेंगे, इट्स अ लॉन्ग सीरीज, मे बी ऑस्ट्रेलिया कैन क्रम्बल ऑल्सो. यू कैन पुट इफ यू पुट देम इंटेंस प्रेशर लाइक दिस, स्पेशली देयर बॉलर्स. आप आके रिवर्स स्वीप कर दे रहे, वो कर दे रहे, there's going to come a time, yes, it can go south for England 100%, but if you look at it from a positive point of view, अगर आप ऐसा खेलते गए, will Australia be able to sustain it? Will Pat Cummins be able to play innings like this? Will Nathan Lyon come and be able to survive every single game? That will be the question, because end तक हल्क में तो चले गया था गेम, राइट? ऑस्ट्रेलिया लाइक परेशान थे लास्ट आधा घंटा 1 घंटा जो भी था मैच का. तो अगर आप ऐसा खेलेंगे, it show that you can play this way. You can put pressure on Australia. It's not like they got 10 all out or 100 all out England. They took the game deep, but if you're going to keep playing like this, maybe it puts pressure on Australia as well.
बिल्कुल. I mean, it would put pressure on Australia because it's something that's out of the context, out of syllable. जब एक question आया था आपको तो आप थोड़े बहुत परेशान आए थे. But I think the way Australia is now, I think they're sort of getting a hang of it, and you know they probably will have a game plan. I mean, you can't really put a plan against it, but they'll probably know what the intent is by now. Mentality क्या है England की, what they can expect. थोड़े बहुत they have answered, like what kind of approach Ben Stokes would take. But yeah, I think from Australia's again point of view, the way they are, they really don't look at other people apart from their own performances, apart from their own tactics. They don't get into details. They don't think more than what's required. जितना जितना हमारे हद तक हम कर सकते हैं, हम पूरा कोशिश करेंगे. उसके बाद, you know, it's about how the game plays out. So that's how they are, and I think now it's the question is like, would they keep David Warner, or do you see Marcus Harris? Do you see Mitchell Stark playing, or do you see Scott Boland still continuing? Like these are the ones that they'll really be worried about rather than anything else. I think. And Labuschagne for me has to step up, and I'm really worried about Labuschagne at this point.
And also, if I look at it from English point of view, Mark Wood भी है उनके पास. He could be like that
He
X
could be
factor,
the factor.
90 miles an hour. उन्हें आके trouble कर सकता Australian batters को, और परेशानी कर सकता. Maybe makes Khwaja uncomfortable as well, right? Like who looks so good. Just Jimmy didn't have the best of games. I don't know if he's going to play. If he does play, hopefully the conditions suit him more. But if he doesn't play and then Wood plays, that could be another challenge for Australia. So England do have some tricks in their bag as well, and so do Australia. They do have Mitchell Stark waiting in the wings, but from an England point of view, I think like from their bowling side, if they do bring in someone like a Wood, and look, also Moeen Ali's fitness is going to be very crucial. You need your fourth bowler, whoever it is, to be bowling over, especially with a spinner. You need him to bowl 20-30 overs without being injured. So if it's Ryan Ahmed or Moeen Ali, that will also play a factor. So England will have these things as well in their mind. Ki bhai, last time we were one man down. We didn't have Anderson had basically two man down. Like the Moeen Ali Anderson ka contribution second innings mein kam tha, right? So if you have a full squad, everyone is fit in bowling, maybe we'll have a better crack at Australia, and maybe we win by a bigger margin, not just by like 2 wickets or 1 wicket. So ये भी उन लोग सोच सकते हैं वैसा. But Australia, it's about absorbing that pressure, playing traditional test cricket, looking to win, of course, putting England under pressure, counter-attacking. I think Australia were good in terms of they were quiet the whole day. Then Pat Cummins came and smashed it with the ball. Also, at times they were getting reversed this and that, but then there were sessions where they would pick up 4 or 5 wickets and put England under pressure. So वैसा अगर देखें तो it should be a mouth-watering contest. Tomorrow, Fez will do the preview.
Yeah.
We'll look ahead to
Yeah,
that. And
it's gonna be brilliant. Like I mean, already the build up from the first test, जो था 100%. A lot of more people are going to watch it than what they did. I'm pretty sure lots of people did, but थोड़े बहुत तुम्हारे ashes है ये है. Like a lot of people in India maybe didn't probably watch the first test, but now because it's Lords, the aura and everything, वो पूरे कायदे तमीज में बैठ के देखने का match and अलग मजा रहता. But yeah, I think for Australia the main thing is that middle three. I think Labuschagne, Smith, Travis Head really need to get a go. They need to really see that, you know, point where if Usman Khwaja, you can't always rely on Usman Khwaja, and David Warner has been shaky, so they need to really force. अगर वहाँ पूरे flop हो गए तो फिर bottom में Carey and Green इन लोग पे बहुत ज़्यादा pressure आ जाएगा. Bowling wise, I think yeah, मेरे को तो I would like to see Mitchell start, but I don't know how it's going to be. England के लिए I think Joe Root was crucial in both the sessions. Now if Joe Root की 100 निकालो, then also changes a lot of things. So England have to really look at their batting. Pope, Crawley, again, it's the same thing, right? Like you need these guys to step up.
top order, yeah.
Yeah, top order for England. I mean, if Joe Root didn't perform, then you could have seen England 100 runs short in that first innings, and then you would have never declared and stuff. So there's a lot of questions there as well. And yeah, ऐसे चिराग भाई, अरे भाईजान, एक minute. I think we destination continuing. I think we already took this. Hello, Mr. AB Cricket. Okay. ऐसी वेस्ट इंडीज से खेलने का क्या फायदा? या वेस्ट इंडीज से खेलने का फायदा या आई गेट इट नहीं है अगर ऐसा परफॉर्म करे. बट लाइक मुस्तफा बोल रहा था कि भाई अच्छे स्कोर्स हैं, अच्छे परफॉर्मेंसेस भी आ रहे हैं. वही है, क्लोजिंग द गेम ज्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक है इन लोगों के लिए. एंड इट लुक्स लाइक they look like a beat down team in temperament as well, because the issues that they have with the board, issues that they probably have in their own camp. I don't know if there's like that, you know, regionalism that you usually see in Pakistan. If they have that in West Indies, I don't know as well. Like, यहाँ का है मैं वहाँ का हूँ, अगर वो issues है, you never know. But when 374 again, man, it was there. You had to, you know, finish off the game, and it just looks like West Indies didn't really come to the party with that.
या एबी क्रिकेट, शुक्रिया ज्वाइन करने के लिए. खाना खाया क्या? नहीं, मैं अभी खाया नहीं. फैज शायद खा लिए, खा लेंगे खाना. और शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत जुड़ने के लिए, लाइक करने के लिए. सब्सक्राइब भी कर दो आप, और अपने दोस्तों को भी बता दो चैनल के बारे में. हम लोग रोज़ क्रिकेट बात करेंगे, और हमारे पास इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटर पे भी हम लोग अलग चीज़ें करते हैं, अलग कंटेंट बनाते हैं. तो प्लीज़ फॉलो करिए आप. और चिराग भाई, आई कंप्लीटली एग्री विद यू. फुल स्ट्रेंथ टीम आप भेज रहे हैं, फिर बोलते हैं रेस्ट नहीं मिलता. बिल्कुल सही है कि लाइक ये वेस्ट इंडीज टीम के अगेंस्ट आप पूरी टीम को लेके जा रहे हैं. स्पेशली टेस्ट मैचेस, इट डिडंट मेक सेंस टू मी. आई थिंक टेस्ट मैचेस को यू शुड हैव जस्ट ट्राइड सम यंगस्टर्स, एंड थिंक फिर वनडे सीरीज आप रोहित कोहली को भिजा सकते थे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. आई एग्री विद दैट. बट टुमारो फेज विल हैव द प्रीव्यू. विल रैप इट राइट नाउ, एंड वी विल गो टू आवर फुटबॉल चैनल. सो एवरीबॉडी हु लाइक्स फुटबॉल, फॉलो अस ऑन चेसिंग ग्रीन एरोज. वहाँ पे भी शो है अभी हमारा 5 मिनट में. तो कल जुड़ेंगे और कल प्रीव्यू करेंगे इंग्लैंड वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया द एशेस. फैज, यू कैन डू द ऑनर्स.
Yes, sir. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Take care. Good night.